Hello and welcome back to the European Youth Championships. My name is David Parson and I'm delighted to have here the mastermind behind all this, Stefan Czerny.
Hi, hello.
How you doing, man? All good?
I'm still good.
I guess there's a lot of stress going on in all these big events. But yeah, tell us how it's been running so far this whole week for you.
Well, in general, I have to say it has been running pretty well so far. Of course, in a big event like this with actually free competitions and a lot of different classes and a lot of route setting, there's always things that can be improved, but that's the way it is, I think. That's how we try to learn from each event, from one event to another. And yeah, but in general, I have to say it was really a good event, good atmosphere, especially also on Thursday at the Masters. A lot of people here, and the European Youth Championships for me so far is one of the best events we've ever done.
It was not planned that we were going to have championships. Maybe you can tell us a story.
Well, actually, in last fall, Heiko from Austrian Climbing Federation came up and was just asking if we would like to do the championships in spring, as we usually do the European Youth Cup. And I said, well, as we plan to do the Bloc summer again, why not doing it in summer on the big stage? And it would be a much better place for youth championships. And yeah, here it is, and I think it's been great success so far.
And from a logistic point, what's the difference? Because last year we had the whole event was in the middle of the city, and now we're a little bit outer. I guess there's some pros and some cons.
Yeah, as you might see the picture at the moment.
Amazing shot.
It's actually close to our shim. It's 10 minutes from the city center, so the people in Graz know the place really well. It has a really good atmosphere, an old industrial atmosphere. So the field itself, it works perfectly well for this competition. We were pretty lucky concerning the weather. Even for the competitors, it was way too hot.
On the
course,
hot side,
it was like 34 degrees for over 10 days now. But that's one thing we can't change. Today we were really lucky to have rain in the break and not during the competition, so went really well so far.
Thanks. Well, we're seeing the athletes that are coming for the presentation. I think I'm gonna be letting you go. But thanks a lot. It's been really nice.
I would like to mention one thing and also say to the people of the world that it was really a good effort from not only from us. I have to say it's been a project where 3 gyms working together and putting all these things up, and it wouldn't have been possible without the effort of Caro from Boulder Club and also from Newton. So the Newton crew, the Boulder Club crew and the Blockers crew got together for this event, and this was a new experience for us, I think, and a really good one.
Well, it's been amazing. We're just going to wrap it up with the last competition of the juniors. Thanks a lot for your time, and it's been a pleasure. Hopefully more of this is going to happen in the future.
Have fun.
Thank you.
See you later.
Bye. And that was Stefan Czerny, the CEO from Bloc, and mastermind behind all this massive event. We are going to quickly grab a word with the Roots at the Philharmonic, and then afterwards Titov Korosek, the winner from yesterday, will come to join us. And that's the presentation of the 8 athletes from each category. We're going to be having a little bit of a diagram showing you each name so that you can be more familiar. They had a semi-final round here in the morning, very early at 10, and they took a long break. Now the conditions are better, there's a bit of fresher atmosphere, and they're going to be soonly wrapping up for the final.
And the strongest one after semis, Geva Levin from Israel. Those are the 16 strongest athletes. Now back to isolation, and we can start with the finals. Back in isolation, and then we start with the finals here. wieder für den Sound zuständig hier. DJs Big Fish and Booger. Always making good music here for our athletes and for you.
So those were the 8 athletes per category, 8 women and 8 men. I'm going to be telling you now the name of all these athletes as they're going to be coming in order to the mats. Sunniva Ovre Eide from Norway will be followed by Sandra Hopfensnitz from Germany. Third will be Irina Tatiana from Italy. From Austria, Lea Kempf, followed by Eddie McNeese. Thanks for the pronunciation on the comments. From Great Britain. Followed by Franziska Ritter from Germany and Celia Avenceau from France. Last but not least, Selma Elite Mimone from France. She was super strong, flashing almost every single boulder apart from the last one, which took her only 4 tries. And on the men, we have Louison Bourtin from France, followed by Hugh Mathia Jobet from Spain. Then 2 Israeli athletes, Ido Fidel and Oren Prihet, followed by Edwards Grutsitis from Latvia, Diane Aktega from Great Britain, then Hannes van Dusen from Belgium, and last but not least, the 3rd Israeli, Levin Geva. 3 Israeli people, 1 Spanish athlete, 1 French, 1 Latvian, 1 Great Britain, and 1 Belgian. In total, 6 different nations. Which are going to be fighting for the first position here in Graz on the European Youth Championships for the juniors section. My name is David Parson, and if you're tuning in, we're very, very close to start the competition. The format is going to be a semi-final modus, where there are going to be athletes coming all the time, 4 minutes per boulder, 4 boulders in total, and 15 seconds for getting back into isolation. And there we see some shots of some athletes. The whole field is filling up with more athletes and more spectators. The temperatures are well cooler. At the morning, the juniors had the qualifying round, the semi-final round, sorry, at 10 a.m. And now it's a lot fresher here in the mats. So I think we're going to have nice conditions for these athletes, which were fighting really hard for these 8 places in the morning, going for the big final here in Graz. Soon we'll be grabbing a word with Flo Munich. He will make his way. And afterwards, Team Korosek, the winner from yesterday, will join us. The Youth A will be here, the winner, commentating how was his experience and helping us with this insight information from every single athlete. There's some people being caught in camera, they're realizing. And there we see a big crowd wrapping up for the last competition in these last 3 days that we have had. Very last competition here in Graz. And then we see a picture of the Olympic winner, Alberto, who is not joining on the mats. He's already over the edge to join in the juniors. But he will be watching and cheering his friend competitors and team from Spain.
From Norway, Sunniva Evre.
And the first two competitors, the French, Louison Boutin and Sunniva Evre on the first two boulders.
Let's show them how these boulders are done.
Choosing both to brush the holds was decision, and we're going to see the first goals going on for this competition on the junior.
Make some noise for Team France.
There are similar boulders to the ones we were having. There's been severe adaptations for them. Hopefully our route setter is going to be able to explain us a little bit better what they have been changing in order to challenge this category. Of course, the Youth B category had an easier version. These are already more experienced athletes, more developed athletes, so they're going to be challenged a little bit harder. Boards are going to be tougher, but enough to have enough tops. As the route setters did a great job on the Youth B finals. No problem for this pinch now from Boutin Luzon. Boutin Luzon, 18 years old, 5th on Chambry in France. He will want to make a top. He's been already in finals. Now he wants to be in the first 3 positions, possibly gold. People cheering Sunniva. Sunniva also being quite a lot into podium, lead podium in Dorbin this year. She was 8th in Augsburg and 7th in Lead in Imst. Unfortunately, no bouldering tops for her. Top podiums, of course. But hopefully she's going to be able to make it. And I believe this is the best result she's going to ever have on a bouldering podium so far. So pretty nice to have it on such a big event here in Graz. Let's go. Just to do kind of a pogo and get a compression. There's a tiny screw and hold on the wall, barely seeable, and she's trying to stab it as she's going up.
They need their teammates, so come on, make some noise when they're back on the wall. How long to rest and how much it takes to climb to the top. Ali now, Ali, come on, make some noise.
And here we see Sunniva trying again. Louison Boutin going for another go, probably his last go, holding to the zone and slipping out. I think he's not fancying another go. He already got his zone on his second attempt. And that's a repetition. Crossing with the left. I think it moved. Oh, the hold is moving. I think they're gonna. He's probably gonna get this time back. Unfortunately, the hold moved, and now we see Joao from Portugal, who's running across the mat in order to fix this pinch. Alongside is also Dirk Ulik, the chief route setter. He's a little bit taller, so I think between both of them, they're going to try to solve it as fast as they can. And the next competitors will be Sandra Hopfensicht from Germany and Hugh Mathiajevet from Team Spain. Probably Hugh is going to have to wait for the next round, and we're going to have one athlete coming alone. We have Sandra there, very focused, brushing with some tapes. Those tapes could be from physiotherapists, either for activation or for some kind of like regeneration. It's not always the case that they're injured. Sometimes they just want to activate a bit more the joint. So yeah, hopefully she's not got anything important and we're going to be able to see the best out of her. Definitely top performance if she made it to finals. So stabbing the left hand and going for the big pinch. It's a very long distant move and you have to squeeze it pretty hard. And there was she was almost getting and stabilizing the shoulder, and at the very last moment just not managed to keep the tension and slipped out a little bit. And Sandra taking a little bit of a rest. It's important to not get too tired, not get too warm on the hands, as it will be a lot of friction dependent. And this time, I think she looks a little bit more tired. It's not jumping quite far as before. Still 2 minutes, so it should be enough.
Louison got another 2 minutes to complete.
And now we see Louison with 2 more minutes to complete his boulder. He said the pinch is moving, I'm not going to give it another go, but now the root set is fixed it, so it should be enough time for him to make amends and climb this boulder.
Und auch für die Sandra geht gleich weiter mit dem nächsten Versuch. Bereitet sich vor. She's getting side Sandra now on corner 1. Ari, come on now. Ari.
And both athletes on the last minute taking a little bit of a read through, choosing for an option. And Pogo, and unfortunately still quite low. Sandra's looking a little bit deceived, not sure what to do, what to change. And I think he's going to give it one last go. As we see Louison falling again from the zone hold. This time not moving. And soon we're going to be joined by Tim Korosek from the team Slovenia. We're going to give him a couple of seconds to relax and manage to sort out this, and soon he will be with us commentating for you the finals. And here made his way up Tim Korosek. Hello, how you doing?
All right.
Yeah,
Good.
congratulations for yesterday, man. Big guy of the event.
Thanks.
How was the whole feeling of winning European Youth Championships?
Amazing. I mean,
yeah. Did it the round, was it so hard as you expected it to be, or did you have a good flow?
I don't know. First and last boulder were pretty my style, but the second and third were pretty hard for me.
Yeah.
But
well, it was enough, and hopefully we saw you in the first position, and it was really amazing to see you there. Are you looking forward for the next year for another round of hard boulders? You're going to keep on the national team and keep on fighting for European Youth?
yeah, definitely.
Super nice. Maybe you can run us a little bit through the second boulder where EYCH the Spanish athlete is fighting. We got off camera there, so maybe we're gonna have to wait for that. There you are on the left. We saw the first athlete actually lose on, struggling quite a lot on these 2 pinches. And now also Duke is struggling quite a lot.
Yeah, they are pretty bad.
They're pretty bad. But how would you read it if you would have to climb the boulder?
Luzon did pretty well. I mean, I would go with left to the zone too. And then it's just, you need to hold those pinches. It's just hard.
It's just pure power, nothing, no tricks, just about holding.
Yeah.
All right. Also, we're seeing now the Italian athlete Irina Daziano. She was not quite holding around the edge. It looks like she was slipping from this big egg, yellow, big hold. And almost a top there for Suniva as she was flying off. We've been told that this top has been much further apart, and now they have to commit more. They cannot get so rigid. Also, the big boomerang is being like turned a little bit more. The purple hold. Also, the crimps on the volumes are worse, so it's definitely another boulder. And yeah, how did you react yesterday? What was going on in your head when you were topping? Because I guess in the very last moments you have to keep yourself together, especially if you know, okay, maybe I'm on the very last 3 positions and I'm going to be winning. Is there anything you were telling yourself like when you were there?
I started pretty early, so when I finished, I actually didn't know what position I will end. But I mean, I just enjoyed the competition and tried to have fun during climbing, and it turned out pretty well.
Super nice, man. And Irina not quite making the move, stick it. There we see also Suniva. Looks like very, very bad footholds on those volumes. Do you use harder shoes? Do you use softer shoes, especially for those kind of slabs?
I use Dragos
for everything.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, if you want to win a competition, wear Dragos, because Tim is wearing Dragos, and he managed to do it yesterday. And you, Matthias, is gonna go away with 10 seconds, not gonna be enough. He managed to get a zone on his 7th attempt, so that's gonna do him pretty well. He's sitting in 2nd position. He took 5 more attempts on the zone than Luis put on. So there's the replay from the Spanish athlete. And that's where probably he got the zone. For now, we're going to go with Lea Kempf, the Austrian athlete who qualified for this final. 3rd in theory was, so she's already been in the podium. She knows how it is to be in a podium, and she's probably going to give her best on this boulder. Would you say the boulders from yesterday were suiting your style?
First and last, definitely.
Yeah.
But at slabs, I'm not really good.
You're also one probably of the taller athletes, so how is it when you're in a boulder situation? Does it normally bring you favor, or do the roots do a really good job in order that that doesn't get compromised?
It's so different to boulder. Like, first one, it was so good that I'm that tall, because I could easily reach the 2 goat folds and stick the jump. Yeah. But on slab, it's quite hard to stay with hips to the wall.
Yeah, more whole body that has to be in the wall.
Yeah.
And then we saw there actually Ido Fidel was looking super strong on these 2 pinches. I mean, we've seen many people not even to get to hold them. He was actually trying to campus from there to the next pinch. It looks like a really, really tough boulder. But for now, Sandra Hopevsnik, and the boulders have been tweaked. Every single one of them is not exactly the same, and it's way harder than it used to be. A tough round. We saw before Max Beton on this boulder, now we see his companion Louis Moutin. Of course in a different category. Same but different. Let's see if he can get a zone. Are you training especially for coordination moves like this?
Not that much, because I'm good at coordinations.
Okay, so with your team, the things that you're better, you train less. The things you're worse. Okay, and you're quite a lot often in blockouts. Is this correct?
Actually, in the last year, no.
Okay.
I was injured, so.
Oh. So you came really strong after an injury, because you just managed to beat the first champion. What kind of injury did you have?
I hurt my back.
Oh. From a fall of a boulder, or?
Actually, I don't know. It just started to getting worse and worse.
Well, we're happy that you're healthy again and competing. And Ido not quite getting so high as he would like to.
One more time. Let's hear it. Let's hear some noise for it. Let's hear come on.
And then we see the German athlete Sandra fighting really hard. She's going to be definitely awarded the zone. And the zone here is really valuable. Sandra, she's been definitely awarded the zone on her third attempt. And now is about trusting this horrible feat. And I believe that Ido is not fancying another go. He's going to go back with 20 seconds left on the clock. Luzon also not finding a zone. And unfortunately for Sandra, she's going to be timed out. Next, we'll be having Erin McNeese from the Great Britain team. She's 18 years old. She's been already 5th on Boulder in Russia in 2021. And this year she was 9th in Slovakia for elite competition. So no podiums so far for her this year. But hopefully today she's going to find her way up. And on the man, we're going to have the second Israeli, Oren Prihet, on medal number 1. So how many times do you train a week?
5 times.
5 times a week, and you have to combine it with school, university?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't really have a problem with school, but I have to adjust a bit.
It's a busy schedule, I guess, and you have to really be organized.
Yeah.
And Hugo Mathia on the second boulder, he's on the taller side, and he's actually 2 meters 5 wide span. So I guess the hole is going to be a little bit closer for him. And Oren looking very strong here, same as Erin was looking also very, very strong. Both making good events on the first boulders. Looks so desperate, that pinch. And Yuk looking the highest we've seen anybody in this boulder so far.
It looks like a really hard round.
Yeah, definitely. And looks like Erin should just manage to get the zone. Sorry, the big flop. She's now going to be launching for the zone. Unfortunately, it falls out. 2 minutes to go, and we're also being able to see a first go at the third boulder for the female. This was a boulder set by Flo Munich, and Hugo Mathia just managed to get the coordination move, no problem, and this time sticking it. And we're going to see a top from the Spanish athlete.
Come on now,
Fighting really hard on the shoulders. He's also going to be one of the bigger athletes, so she's... Ooh, that was so close. He's still got enough down, has to not rush things out. High foot. And there's gonna be a top and shouts in emotion. That was very, very hard to see, but he managed to get it. High rewarded. And for sure gonna be in the lead with the only athlete with the top. He managed to do that in his fifth attempt. So that's pretty good. And that's the repetition. And the Italian athlete Irina Tatiano on the second boulder. Maybe you can tell us, yeah, she's shaking.
Foot is shaking.
A lot of Elvis Presley leg, or a disco leg, as we call it. Yeah, maybe any suggestions for anybody who's getting into competition climbing? What can they do to improve in slabs? Tim?
I mean, I'm not really good at slabs.
Okay.
But you just need to climb them more and more and try to get better.
Well, there you are. Climb a lot, get a lot of mileage. That's basically something really needed, I guess, for any single athlete. We're going to go with the next, the first Latvian, Edwards Gruzitis. He was second in Prague this year. He's 18 years old. And Franziska Ritter from Germany, a 19-year-old. She's very, very dominant when it comes to speed. She's pretty much been on every single final on speed. And she's doing the best bouldering position that she's ever been into. Definitely hard for an athlete to come across. Do you train also for speed, Tim, or do you?
No.
How is it hard for you to combine between all these categories?
I train only boulder and lead. I don't do much speed.
But even lead and bouldering, they're so different. I mean, it's quite hard to keep a shape for both. How do you do this?
I don't know. I just climb.
Do you have
both.
a time for one time for other, or do you train all both at the same time?
It's usually that first part of the season is boulder comps and then lead comps. So in the first part I train more boulders and then start to train more lead.
Okay. You've also been climbing some routes outside. I saw that you did an 8B plus in Inter called Inferno.
It's actually 8B.
Okay, so it's been downgraded. Well, in the 8A no, I was looking a little bit of information. Are you still quite present into the outdoor scene? Do you like to go outdoors?
Yeah.
Any project for this summer?
In October or November, I'll try to climb Sanskipar 9A.
Oh wow! Do you already have any 9A under your belt?
No, only 8C.
Well, that's not little. And then we see really high up on the wall the German athlete. That is Sandra Kopesnik. And Ido sticking the coordination move. Maybe we're going to see a second top. Looking very good. Yeah, going there. Looking very promising for this young athlete. And it slips out. He has to keep the tension. We saw Yuk stabbing the left high foot, just as Ido is doing right now. And I believe he's been awarded as top. Ido not been authorized, but he's going to be jumping on first position because he took less times to get zones. As opposite to Yuk, he took 6 times and Yuk took 10 times. So same amount of tries on the top, but different on the zones. Enough to make already the separation. And we're seeing also a glance of boulder number 3, Luson Boutin. There you are, the 1, 2, 3 that we were expecting from Jan Heiko, the root setter. Looking very good. It's going to be a top. And a top from the French athlete, Luson Boutin. He's going to be very happy about that. And the German athlete, Franziska, looking a little bit stressed and asking herself why. We saw her. And chicken E-bar there, but didn't work. Small edge. Yeah, why is it so beneficial to go outdoors for the competition climbing team?
It's good for technique, and you just relax outdoors. You're having fun. You're in nature.
Okay. It's nice because many people, of course, don't know why they should be maybe doing, because it's such a different sport. We have been hearing like it's not the same sport, but we see many of the advanced climbers doing a lot of outdoor climbing, additional to the indoor climbing. So, yeah, just for everybody to know why they should be doing it. Because there's a lot of people getting into climbing. Climbing is getting really famous, and many people would be happy to hear what you guys professionals are doing. And the next athlete out will be Celia Avenzu. She had a fantastic round. Couldn't top the first boulder, but managed to get really fast the next 3. Looks a little stretched out, and I guess she's going to try from there to reach the zone. Looking very good. Unfortunately, falls out. And again, we have another hold being said, another athlete been telling us there's a hold that doesn't feel so secure. Did it ever happen to you that holds are moving or things like that?
On competitions, not.
Okay. On training, yes?
Yeah.
And then we see Erin McNeese on the second boulder. The British athletes also quite good with the feet, training on grit. There we see her high up. And there is Oren Prehead on the right side. So far, no tops on boulder number 2, I believe. Only zones. Are we going to see the first top? And we fall down, Eddie McNeese. Also, we see the French athlete getting super high up. The British athlete, sorry. And a top for Iran, Diane Akhtar from Great Britain. We just managed to get it at top. Looking super strong. We saw so many athletes falling further down. We thought they had a little bit overcooked it, but thanks for Diane is the top. Also Mathia sticking the 1 to 3 coordination move. Fighting. He's going to try to get to the top, and unfortunately doesn't quite get it. A minute to go. And a top from Oren Priet, who just managed to get the second boulder done. Where we see again Dirk Ulik, the chief route setter, going to the stage as Hugh Mathia goes for another go on his last 30 seconds. There's still enough time to top a boulder, so should not be any problem. I wonder what kind of solution is he going to go for. And now went with both hands, but unfortunately not quite making a top on his third boulder. as the scores are actualized, we will be showing you them. For now, the next athlete and last, the penultimate athlete, Hannes van Dusen, will be coming onto stage, as well as the last female athlete, Selma El Haid Minoume. She was looking super strong, and let's see what she can do out of this boulder. My name is David Patterson, and I'm delighted to have here Team Korosek from Team Slovenia. The winner from the Youth A yesterday. He managed to get 2 tops and be on the podium. And here we have the last competition for these 3 days, the juniors. Is anything that you have been doing different between the Youth B and Youth A training? Because there's a big change, there's a gap. Do you train something different for yourself?
In Youth B, a bit less power, because it's so early. It's just not needed to do. But like when you take the boulders and roots also get much harder.
Yes.
Much more powerful.
Not only power, but I guess also gets more technical.
Yeah.
You don't want some here?
No, thanks.
And here we see Ido looking very good on the 3rd boulder. I think we're going to be able to see it top, looking very good position. We're hooking and with both hands on the top. And that was Ido. I think it's the athlete with 2 tops, not been actualized for now, but hopefully we're going to be able to see him. And Evas Grutsidis not quite matching the top. We know that if you don't match the top, you're not being awarded. And here we're seeing the last boulders for the female and the male. Wow, super power display by Sandra and the French athlete Louison Boutin. Also falling down, both of them. One minute 10 to go. It's enough for him. He already knows his quite coordination move, so he should be quite fast. Tries a little bit of a slower solution. And here we're seeing the German athlete. That's Franziska going into very delicate foothold. The footholds are super hard and she just falls out. It was looking quite close. And the Austrian athlete, Lea Kempf, fighting every time and falling down, unfortunately. Big fight from Sandra, who still has the 25 seconds. And everybody's going pretty hardcore on falling. Big fall for the French athlete Louise. And it's a top on the very last second. We're going to see if he's going to be awarded for that. But Evas Grutsidis just managed to get a top on boulder number 2. And now, yes, Diane Atkar from Team Great Britain has been awarded. Sitting currently in 6th position, and Edwards jumping back to 5th position. There we see on the left side the scores for the females as they stand, and for the male we're going to be sooner or later bringing them you so you can have a look how the scores look. And Hugh Mathia for his last boulder of today, And the last athlete, Levingeva, coming to the first boulder. He qualified first, so he's coming last. And we're seeing a lot of progress on the fourth boulder for the Italian. This is Irina Tiziano, who looks very promising. And top for Irina Tiziano, who just managed to stick the last boulder. As well as this Israeli athlete. This is Oren Prihet from Israel. A lot of cheerings for different countries. And Levingeva not quite. Yugmathia jumps, bumps, and unfortunately falling out. The French athletes known to be very good on the footwork. And we've seen this boulder is toppable. Can she also do it? Yes, and there you are. We had the British athlete Erin McNeese falling down in the last try, but unfortunately Thalia managed to get a top there. And Yugmasia with 1:43 on this steep part. The wall gets a little bit less steep, but the holds get worse. We've been told he has to go right and make this flip on the left hand. He's been for sure awarded the zone, so he's got a top and 4 zones, and a top would do him really well. He cannot be first. Sorry, he could be first for now. But this is of course changeable since there are many more athletes still to come. It all depends if he tops this boulder. Sitting now in second position. And from Team Great Britain, we have here Dayan Atkar having a look at the coordination boulder, as well as the other athlete McNeese, here in the very steep part of the wall, fighting really hard. They're meant to be campusing and jumping to the right, then bumping with the left back, and then again with the left to the very high part of the wall. And Levingeva trying really, really hard on these pitches. Actually, it's pretty amazing that Dayan got this top. He looked super strong. Fortunately not top for Dayan, who was sitting in a very advantaged position, but now not having topped the second boulder, has going to have to be working hard on the third and fourth boulder. And then we see Levingeva, who couldn't get a top on boulder number 1. No new athletes on this rotation. We know that the first boulder of the female has been topped, as well as the first male boulder. Let's see what the other ones can do.
Moving quickly through these finals. No more athletes left to try photo number 1. Almost every other boulder now. Here to be timed. Come on now. Okay.
There we see Ida Fidel going for the cross. Get in the zone. Into this very upper part. We've seen many others falling there. Bumping again with the right. And unfortunately falling out.
You can do it.
So Tim, you like to train a lot in the team together. Are you traveling the whole team together, or are you actually training on your own? How is it working for the Slovenian team?
I train in local gym, but like every 1 or 2 weeks we have team training.
So you're training all together every 2 weeks. And
Yeah.
where is this? Where are you going? Oh, sorry, we saw a top now from the Latvian athlete. That was Edvards Grucitis, and I think he's the only athlete with 2 tops. Sorry, second athlete with 2 tops after Oren, and that jumps into second position. But you were saying you're training together. Where are you going to train together?
Different locations. Sometimes Bloc house, sometimes in Ljubljana Boulder Scena, or Innsbruck too. It's different.
It gives you a lot of diversity for training different stuff. And Lea Kemp looking really good on her last boulder. We've seen an athlete already get to the top. Let's see if she can get it. The first boulder of the women had no tops, and this one already has 2 tops. And Lea Kemp just jumping onto the first position with 1 top and 2 zones. And we've seen the Belgian athlete looking very forwards. Hannes unfortunately falls out. One more minute to go. We're going to see surely the men's results as they stand on screen, so we can keep you actualized and you can have a little bit of an overview who's sitting on the upper part of the scores and who is at the bottom. Of course, the competition is not over. We still have half of it going on. And for now, we see Selma on her 3rd boulder. And unfortunately falls down and doesn't get a top. And the next rotation will be, and that's the results as they stand for now. We have Oren Freehead on the very upper part of the top score, followed by Edwards Grucitis and Ido Fidel. Further down, Mathieu Jovet, he cannot stand up higher as he already finished his rotation. Luzon Boutin also not, he also finished his rotation. Diana Akhtar, followed by Hannes and Geva Levin. And here we have the women's results. Lea Kemp, followed by Irina Stasiano, Celia Vetsu on 3rd position from France, and Sandra Hobesnik. Suniva just finished her rotation, she also cannot change her position. Selma and Erin, and the last but not least, Francisca Rita. And there we see Celia Avensu fighting on her 3rd boulder. Looking very strong. Are we gonna see a top? So far, no tops on the 3rd boulder. And super strong, the French athlete who managed to secure both hands. And gets a top, first top for boulder number 3. And just jumps into 1st position with the only athlete with 2 tops. So far, a perfect score for the female. And 2 minutes on the clock. And now we're seeing more of this dynamic approach that we thought from Joao, who was telling us it was more like a dynamic we saw in the younger category. Athletes being able to stop on the 1st hold and then jumping and skipping the 2nd one. Of course, these holds have been tweaked, and now it's close to impossible to do that. And we saw the British athlete Erin McNeith trying her last boulder on her rotation. She has not been awarded any top, so a top or a zone would do her really well. A top would definitely bring her into the podium position so far, and a zone unfortunately would not be enough. And the British athlete Diane has been bleeding, so he has to tape. We're seeing here from the judge. He's been told, please do not spill any blood into the holes, into the volumes. Of course, the time and the counter keeps going on for him. It's horrible. You have to waste time for this, but it will be horrible also to leave some blood for the other athletes on the mats and on the holes. And fighting very hard, Oren. Unfortunately, so many athletes. Maybe you can tell us what we do different, Tim, so that people. This last fourth boulder on the men is looking super hard, and we don't seem to find many people coming to this very last hold.
Yeah, you need to find a position that you're comfortable, and then you can flip, or it's even better if you can reach and then flip, because then you don't have all the swing.
So you're saying go very slow to the very right one?
Yeah, as slow as you can.
Okay. So hopefully they're listening to you and they can do that. Because so far, not a lot of success. We see the British athlete spinning around. And it's a ball that can be done very, very fast. But it requires a lot of position. 9 seconds to go. It's going to be able to do it. Maybe we can get a bit of camera shot. And there you are. Looks like he was going to slip out. And on the very last second managed to stay there. Even on the very last second, he looked like he was going to slip out. But he got enough time. There you are. Falling back, coming back in. Amazing performance from Diane, who definitely just jumped to first position as the only athlete of the men's side with 3 tops. And next rotation, we're going to see the French athlete Selma on her 3rd boulder, as well as the Belgium athlete Hannes trying his 3rd boulder of today. There you are, Selma, almost doing a one armor. Are you fan of crimps, Tim, or are you fan of what's your favorite grip?
I prefer slopers, actually.
Slopers. Do you usually train your weaknesses more than your strengths?
I train both, but yeah, I train more on weaknesses.
Yeah, there's some athletes which I've heard there's some athletes which they train the strength to a point which it becomes like the best thing they utilize. It's the best weapon they have. But of course, it's really good to be an all-rounder so that you can be in every single situation, I guess.
Yeah, you train everything. Even if you're already good at it, you can still get better. And it's better if you can.
And the German athlete Franziska Ritter on her last rotation, the last boulder. She definitely needs a top. She's unfortunately not been awarded any top, and a top would do her really, really well. She would run into 3rd position at least. Depends how fast she gets it. Even a 2nd position. 1st position is not possible since Celia Aventou from Team France has already 2 tops. Ed was going here. As Tim said, he needs to go very, very slow to the right and then do this flip. But there's a lot of tension in those holds. And he just went to the top. How often do you try? What do you how often do you try a solution before you change the solution, Tim?
I do like 2 tries on the same beta. If I feel close, I'll try it again, but if don't, I'll just try to find something else.
Cool, and we see Selma here doing another top. Second athlete there. Yeah, so you base your changing of solutions based on your success and your rate of success.
Yeah, and
Yes.
like I'm taller athlete, so I'm also looking to skip some holds.
Yeah, I
because
mean, it's sometimes quite hard, I guess, when you're so close to the solution to change methods.
yeah,
And here we see Francisca Ritter fighting really good. The next hold is a big jerk, and unfortunately we see her falling down. A big spin from the Belgian athlete Hannes, a very strong athlete. We did already AB in Fontainebleau this year, called Mécanique Élémentaire. And that's the replay from this French athlete Selma Minome. Selma just jumped into second position. She didn't get a top on boulder number 2. As to Celia, which got a top. And that's the rotation for now. Enough, but not enough for Hannes, who's going back to isolation before his last boulder. Looks a little bit defeated, gone slow, a little bit angry. And the British athlete, he's for sure having his knee taped. He was bleeding on the third boulder, managed to get a top on the very last second, and he's going to have a go at his last rotation. Any favorites so far?
let's see. It's hard to suggest who will win because they are all so strong. And like every round, someone else wins.
Yeah, definitely. Everything is changing so fast, and people are topping, and yeah, quite hard. I understand you. I have a lot of money, I think, bet on the British athlete. He looks so strong, so composed, and
Yeah,
3
especially
tops
on the
is
first.
not easy. Yeah, and the first was incredible. Didn't get the top on the second one, but third boulder was really good, and let's see if he can do a top on boulder number 4. No top so far on the men on boulder number 4, only zones. So a top would do him really well. And then we see Gava Levin going for the third boulder. And the British athlete looking super strong on the one armors. And Levin Geva for another go. This is a boulder, I guess. You can do a lot of tries and until you get your coordination move sorted out, and then, oh wow, that was a very fast landing from Levin Geva. And it's looking very good for the top. He needs to be precise with the left foot. And big fall. I think there's a lot of stress going in your mind at these times. Are you an athlete when you get to the top and you fall out that gets nervous, or what do you use for calming yourself?
I don't know actually. I just try to relax and breathe and just focus on.
Do you do also anything in isolation, like reading a book or do something?
No, not something specific.
Oh my God, I think we're really close to the top here. And the British athlete managing the top, and everybody going for Zinger on the audience. Tops are flying from the moon, and another athlete really close to the top, Celia. Very strong athletes, both of them, British and French, who managed to top both the fourth boulders. Many athletes falling there, and the British athlete showing and displaying power. But Levin Geva topping boulder number 2. Sorry, number boulder 3. Unfortunately, Levin cannot reach Dayan since he only got 1 top. And I believe Dayan just managed to get his position saved as first because nobody is able to get 3 tops now. Levingeva not having had 2 tops so far, and only 1 boulder to go, same as Hannes. No top, so none of these athletes can catch up Diane. So safe
And
position for him.
Oren is already safe too.
Yes.
And Edwards too, I think.
Yes, because Oren has got 4 zones and Levin cannot get 4 zones. So Oren has got also a safe position, same as Edwards, I believe. So that is as it stands. We're going to see the updated scores soon, and let's get a confirmation. And those are the score. These are the scores for the men as it stands. There's nothing going to be changing in the first 3 positions, and those scores are saved and been already confirmed. Diane Akhtar from Great Britain is on first position, following down by the Israeli Oren Praihet and the Latvian Edwards Krutsitis, securing the bronze medal. Further down, Ido Fidel, Masia Javet, Louis Ambutin, Hannes and Gavin Leva. Gavin and Hannes can change their position still. Very strong Hannes here. Hannes could be 6th, cannot be 4th. Yes, very strong from Hannes. And I believe that was a flash. I think he's a little bit disappointed that he could not show his best on the other boulders. Unfortunately, that's how it went. But yeah, that was a flash, and he jumps into 6th position. Not having 4 zones, cannot take the position of Yuk. Selma there, also not getting the zone. Selma also could not be changing her scores, so we're, I believe, having the score for the female quite fixed. We're gonna wait for confirmation, but we're gonna show you very soon as we can the scores. Selma cannot change her position, and there's no climber coming behind her. One more minute 40 seconds to show the last rotation for the female here for the European Youth Championships, and those are the scores for the female. Telia Vensu, first athlete with 3 tops and 3 zones, followed by Selma, which has got now until us 1 top and 2 zones. We'll see if she gets another top. Her position will not go up, will not go down. Third, Leia came from Austria with 1 top and 2 zones. Different, more attempts on the zones. And further down we have Irina Tatiano from Italy, Sandra Konvesny from Germany, her companion Franziska Ritter in 6th position from Germany too, Suniva Ovre on 7th position from Norway, and last but not least, Erin McNeese. Everybody cheering Allez for this French athlete. Flies out into the mats. I hope she didn't hurt herself, but she looks like she's going to go for another attempt, so I think she's going to be quite alright. Everybody going Ale, the big commentator on the stage, shouting big time Ale, and she's trying to press a little bit more on the shoe, try to get a little bit more tight, snug fit to stay better on the left foothold. And unfortunately not going to be a top nor a zone for this French athlete, but she's done her best and gets a big applause from the audience. We still have one more athlete to come out. That's going to be Geva Levin, And Kevin Levin cannot be on the top of the podium. The maximum he can do now is 6th. Sorry, the maximum he can do now is 6, because EYCH Mathia already has got 4 zones and he gets 2, unless he gets a top. So a top would put him into a 5th position, and a zone would put him into a 6th position. Just need to brush the holds. And the last 5 minutes of this big competition, it's been 3 big days here. We have had 3 different categories: the youth B, youth A, and seniors. We have had also the youngsters, U14, and the youth 20. We have had the Bloc Masters. 3 days completely packed of climbing here in Graz. A big event that we were hearing before from the CEO from Blockhouse, Stoffel Czerny. It's the first time the 3 climbing walls joined together for a big event. Those are Boulder Club, Newton, and Blockhouse, into a massive event here in Austria, in the very eastern side of the country. And the last 2 minutes and a half for Levin Geva is going to be the very last climber for this big event. There you are, now pouring into the zone. Levin Geva matching the left hold. It's a very squeezed and tight position. As Tim said, he needs to be reaching very slowly to the right. There's not a lot on the upper part of this volume, and a lot of tension. He gets it. Now to beat the flip, but he's gonna go to the top and flies out. A little bit of frustration. 2 minutes still to go. He's gonna take a little bit of a big break and give another go. My name is David Patterson, and I'm delighted to have Tim Korosek, the big winner for yesterday on the Youth A. Well, Tim, it's been a pleasure. Really nice to have you here. Thanks for co-commentating. We're having 2 more minutes, but I want to thank you and all the Slovenian team who has been here commentating, who has been trying the boulders, the blockhouse, and fighting really hard. It's an honor to have you here, and thank you.
Thanks to
And the last 2 minutes, last minute and 10 for Levin Geva, before we close up this big competition, the European Championships. Again, we're going to have 2 flower ceremonies, one for the event of today and one for the overall. If you want to see who won the overall, you will have to wait to the very end until the mats are done. And everybody cheering Levin Geva on his last attempt, probably, on this very physical boulder. He's been on the very top. He went for the top hold, couldn't make it. Let's see what he can do now. Going for the Zen method. Going very slowly, as Tim was telling us, grabbing this very far right hold and taking the top. Amazing, what a nice finish for this competition, and for Kevin Leva, who just jumped into 5th position after topping this boulder. Unfortunately not going to be enough, but what an awesome accomplishment to be at the final and be 5th in such a hard competition. Well, now, yes, I'm going to let you go, Tim. Thanks a lot. It's been an honor, and I hope we can see you in more competitions, in more podiums next year. And yeah, all the best in the future. Thanks a lot. That was Tim Korosek from the Slovenian team, helping me, updating you, and giving you some insights as an athlete. And the women's results are going to be coming into stage. That the first 2 French athletes on the podiums for gold and silver: Telia Avezo with 3 tops and 3 zones. Following down, we have Mimoune Eliat with 1 top and 2 zones. There was a difference between the amount of attempts she took in relationship to Leah, which is standing on bronze. Leah took 1 more attempt on the zone, and that's where the split of the field is. Further down, we have Irina Taziano in 4th position from Italy. Then 2 more German athletes, Sandra Hopfesnix and Franziska Ritter on 6th position. On 7th position, Suniva Ovre, and last but not least, the British athlete, Erin McNeese. All of them fought really hard, and soon we're going to be bringing you the results of the men as it stands already confirmed. So there you are, the very, very strong athlete from Great Britain, Diane Akhtar, with 3 tops and 3 zones, the only athlete. He looks so powerful, to be honest. Follow down Israeli Oren Prihet with 2 tops and 4 zones. And further down, we have Elwes Krutsitis from Latvia. There was a difference between the amount of attempts he took on the tops. He took 3 attempts more, and that's why he's sitting in 3rd position. 2 more Israeli athletes further down, Fidel Ido and Leva Geving on 5th position. 6 for Hugh Mathieu from Spain. Further down, Hannes van der Zen, who made a flash at the last boulder, looking very, very strong. Unfortunately, he could not show the best on all the boulders. And last but not least, Louison Bertini from French team. And those are the results. We're going to see very soon the flower ceremony. And we are going to have, as we said, 2 flower ceremonies. The first one is for today's event, for the youth championships. And then we're going to have the overall winner for the bouldering season for the youth here in Graz. Please don't go and wait, because it's going to be a very nice ceremony where we can see who is going to be winning. And yeah, really nice time, a lot of people, a lot of crowd. It's been a really nice event, really nice 3 days commentating for you. Really nice feedback, and a lot of people putting a lot of work behind it. And awesome camera team who has been getting every single time better. We have been hearing your comments, we have been hearing your voice. Thanks a lot for everybody who's commentating, for all the sponsors. It's been a pleasure. My name is David Patterson, and we're going to wait. We're going to make a little bit of a rest, and then we're going to go with the flower ceremony. Thank you.
Ich darf noch das Mikrofon übergeben an Georg für ein paar abschließende Worte.
Well, that was some fantastic replays for today's competition, and in shortly we're going to have in 40 seconds the flower ceremony. It's been a pleasure for all of you who've been on the other side watching, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Looking forward to commentating. It's been an honor. Thanks to all the camera team who's been on the other side also helping a lot. And my name is David Patterson, so till the next time, thanks a lot for everybody who's contributed for the 2020 European Youth Championship of Graz. And everybody, thank you. Bye.
there is again 2 awarding ceremonies. We need the athletes of the overall European Youth Cup. We are still missing Lucia Darkus and Tom Terry Blum und Paul Brandt. Please come to the isolation tent. Lucia Darkus, Paul Brandt und Tom Terry Blum. Please come to the isolation tent for the European Youth Cup overall awarding ceremony. Second to last awarding ceremony of today. Here now on the side stage. Am dritten Platz, auf dem dritten Platz. Lea Kemp on third position. Einen Riesenapplaus für die Lea. Und für die Preisübergabe der IFC Vice President Heiko Wieland. Und für den Bergfuchs einen unserer Hauptsponsor Andreas Wildinger. And on second position, Selma Mimoun, all the way from France. First place, Celia Arizo from France. Those are the winners of the juniors female final of the European Youth Championship in Boulder. One more big applause for the three. And now please rise for the national anthem of France. ladies. And now moving on to the main athletes. On third position, Edwards Protitis from Latvia. Big applause for Edwards. For Team Israel, on second place, Oren Priet. And third place goes to Diane Akhtar from Great Britain. And now please rise for the national anthem of Great Britain. And now the awarding ceremony of the overall European Youth Cup in Boulder. On third position, Lucia Tarkos. Big applause for Lucia. Och jetzt bitte einen Riesenapplaus für die Österreicherin Lea Kemp. On second position, Lea Kemp. And now, first place for Selma Mimoun. Big applause for Selma. For the national anthem of France. youth cup overall on the ladies side. And next one, the male category. On third position, Dayan Akhtar from Great Britain. Congratulations, big applause for Dayan. And on second place, Power Round from the Netherlands. Place, Tom Benny Blum aus Deutschland. From Germany, Tom Benny Blum. And now, please rise for the national anthem of Germany. Vielen Dank. Vielen Dank. Thanks again and congratulations. Those are the three strongest men of the European Youth Cup overall. Please don't go away. We'll throw some t-shirts in the crowd, so come closer. We have 5 t-shirts to give away. Please come a little closer. Und auch noch einmal ein riesen Dankeschön von mir an alle Leute, die hier mitgeholfen haben, an alle freiwilligen Helfer, an jeden einzelnen Routensetzer. Alles, was ihr hier gesehen habt, hat aufgebaut werden müssen. Riesen Dankeschön auch an die Caro Zeffera. Ohne sie wäre es auch nicht möglich gewesen. Auch ein riesen Dankeschön an den Stopper, an den Stefan Tscherner. Auch ohne ihn ist sowas nicht möglich. Danke an den IFC, an Austria Climbing, an alle Officials. Zu viele Namen, um sie alle zu nennen. Riesen herzlichen Dank auch an die DJs, an jeden Fotografen, an den Lichttechniker, an unseren Tontechniker, an jeden einzelnen an der Bar, hier und auch im Blockhaus. Danke. Wir hoffen, wir sehen uns bald wieder. Genießen noch ein bisschen die Party und wir sehen uns dann. Big thanks to all the volunteers. So everybody who worked here, to all the route centers, all the officials. Thank you to all the cameramen, to all the people who were taking pictures. Thanks to Carlos Zeffera, thanks to Stoffer Jana, thanks to everybody else who worked there. Happy, of course.
And give a big round of applause to our host, Santiago.
Danke, danke, danke. Ich hoffe, ihr habt Spaß gehabt. Es war ein super Event wieder mal. Wir sehen uns bald. Ciao und genießt den Abend. Ein kurzes